Don't cry cause it ain't gon' rain every day. Don't despair cause it ain't your way. Keep it real, make the best out of any situation that you come across. Some lose, some lost, I'ma shake it off and get back to what I'm really about. Give the crowd something to feel. Tell me why you scream.
You are listening to the Jonessa Podcast.
Conversations from the couch.
Did we film or record last week? I cannot remember last week's episode.
Yeah, Brenda's got a baby.
Oh man, that's right. That's right.
Come on.
It's starting to, we're getting down to the wire, people. So we're getting down to the end of season 2, and things are kind of blurring all together. We've been very active with participating. Participating on other podcasts.
That was pretty cool.
It was extremely fun. Shout out to KTTV, Brother Kendrick
Thomas. Okay, I'm gonna start trying to.
Listen.
Okay, I'm not gonna try to finish any more
Brother
sentences.
Kendrick Thomas, amazing. You did so well. I mean, you always do well, but you shined. You showed the world, the country, who the star is in this marriage.
We do this. No, there's no star in our marriage. We just were able to play off of one another's thoughts and insights, and that's what made it great.
Aren't you so humble?
We did it together.
Yes, we did it together.
Although he did use my sound clips, I was happy though.
You did a great job.
I was, honestly, all of the jokes aside, it's just been growth. When I listen back to our very first podcast that we've done, and then to be featured on another podcast that's doing really well, that's flourishing, and to still be continuing our own podcast. Yeah. I was honestly just happy to see the growth that we have been able to do, and it was fun to be on the other side. We had to be on because we were the ones being asked the questions. So I think that's kind of what gave a different little spark to it, because I was like, okay, we can't disappoint him. This is his podcast. We have to make sure that we bring our very best to the table, because we don't want to disappoint his listeners and disappoint him, because he's asked us to come on to be on his podcast.
Yes, no, that's very true. It's very different being on the other side of the microphone when you're doing a podcast.
It was different.
Yes, but it was a very enjoyable experience, and looking forward to many more opportunities like that next year and on down the line.
I agree.
But as usual, thank you all for all the support that you give us. This has been such a great year. It's coming down to an end.
Yes.
We only have a few more episodes in this season, then we're going to take a break.
Not as long as we did.
No, it's not.
Before we did season 2. It's not going to be half the year, you all. We'll be back in January.
Did you think that was it?
I didn't think we was coming back.
Going to come back?
I thought, well, that was fun.
Yes.
That's it, Lord.
A lot of things transpired, but
a lot of things transpired at the beginning of 2021. It was just so much going, and sometimes it kind of annoys me when people say there's so much going on, but there really was a lot of new. That's a better word to say. It was a lot of new going on at the beginning, and it just took some getting adjustment. But now we found our groove. We've been saying it. We're in that fourth quarter. We're in that last month of the fourth quarter.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
I know.
And so I think we found our stride. I think we have. Well, when I say we, you have been able to kind of put a different spin on season 2 and kind of rejuvenated our love and joy for the podcast.
Yes. And I mean, like we said, we're not going away. It's really more
just a break,
and give us more time to plan out.
Just like your favorite shows.
Yes.
Yeah, when they go, they go on, season finale, and then they come back.
But we're going to be active on social media. So we got a new segment that we're going to debut during our little hiatus. We're really looking forward to it. We won't spoil it. You'll see it when it happens. But just make sure that you pay attention to our social media platforms. Facebook at
The Jonessa Podcast.
Instagram at
The Jonessa Podcast.
TikTok at
The Jonessa Podcast.
YouTube at
The Jonessa Podcast.
Yes, we are everywhere, but
we are, and people are looking us up too.
Yes,
they're finding us.
Listen, we've done a lot of topics this season on marriage and relationships. A lot more than we did the previous season, because we said that or I don't want to say we, maybe I said.
Tell the truth now. I'm about to say, about to run out. Okay.
Yes, we are a married couple, but this is not a marriage podcast.
It's not. And it's okay with it not being a marriage podcast, because we just don't want to have married listeners. We want to have a different variety of listeners.
Yes. And I think that we have stayed true to that.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, season 2 has been different, though.
Yes.
But, okay.
Yes. And it's not because it's such a hot topic or it's very trendy to discuss. What were you about to say?
I'm working.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
But I think when you grow in an area and you experience something, you want to be able to use that knowledge to help others. So I think we have grown in our marriage, and now that we're on the other side of a lot of things, we can share the information that we know to help and encourage other people.
I love that wisdom. We are always on the same wavelength, because those were literally my thoughts. But as usual, you said it a lot better than I would.
No, you know you're the wordsmith. I don't know why you be wording out. You're the wordsmith, but I'm sorry. I'm not going to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. You came in at the right time, because that's exactly how I wanted to say it. So I was thinking today, because as usual, I'm not going to even open it up by focusing on social media. Let's just try. We're going to touch on it.
Not today.
Is marriage for everyone? I don't know what sparked me to think about this. I'm sure it was something I watched or something I saw. I know there are a lot of single people out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a podcast, but regardless of how I arrived there, I thought it would be good, and I think that our listeners out there who are single and who want to be in a relationship or in a marriage, but are a little ambivalent because of the narratives that are being thrown out there today, if they are unsure or not, well, let's talk about it to help you make that decision. So the topic is marriage for everyone? And there are different types of marriages. There are monogamous relationships and marriages.
What are they called?
Monogamous. So if you're in a relationship, you want to be monogamous, you want to be open, or you just want to stay single and be like, you know what, I'm good.
Yeah.
So you need to decide, is it for you? So let's start off with this, baby.
Okay.
This is my question, and it just hit me.
Okay.
Do you need to be married or experience marriage to get the most out of life?
No. I can answer that. No.
Wow. I did not think you would answer that way.
I do not think that.
Elaborate on that, please.
I strongly disagree with that. I feel that we all have a purpose in life, and that sometimes marriage is a way that you're able to grow and have even greater impact on others, because you can be fruitful and multiply in that way, when I'm talking about greater impact in that aspect, because then you can have children, and then they have children and children's children. But I feel like sometimes being in a single state and never getting married, you can have a full life and you can fulfill so much purpose, and you can have an impact that is beyond, because honestly, this is great. So my sister and I, we're in an organization. Yes. And we were talking about how we kind of just feel tired and ran down. We had this event tonight, and we went to it, and we're trying to be chipper and excited and be happy about it. But at the same time, we were just kind of oh my gosh, we're so tired. But those that are in their single state, they had energy. They wanted to be able to talk up to people after the event. They were ready. They were willing. They had, they just were so ready and so on fire. And it was so refreshing to see that they had that energy for that, because we had to spend our energy on our full-time job then when we got home. So I said that to say this: you can be fulfilled and you can fulfill others without being married. You can, because they were able to exemplify. I was like, man, I was looking up to them. I was like, look at them go, in our organization. So no, I do not feel like you have to be married to really have purpose and have a fulfilled life.
Okay. I agree with what you said.
Okay.
But I'm gonna ask the question again.
Oh, I didn't.
Because I think you can still live a full life, but can you get the most?
Yes.
The absolute most. So you can think that your life is full and you have met your purpose. However, in my personal opinion, when you and take it out of the realm of marriage, just relationships in general, when you're with a person.
No. We're not. I'm trying. I'm doing better about cutting you off. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
We got to keep it in the realm of how you asked the question, and
Okay.
you said marriage. You cannot take it out of that realm,
Okay.
because now you're changing the question.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
All right.
That's fair. So, marriage, a union. I personally believe that, and when I say get the most, it's not all about achievement and fulfillment, and not just looking at it from a positive aspect.
Okay.
I'm just looking at it from a standpoint of getting the full meaning out of life, the goal of knowing yourself, this journey that we're on of, I have learned more and I've gotten to know a lot more about myself since I've been in a marriage with you. I do not think I could not have achieved certain levels of knowledge. I could not have learned a lot more about myself if I didn't have that person to push me and challenge me, that opposite of me, to help me see things differently. You need that other perspective to show you that you may think it's this way, but actually it can also be that way. Or you're seeing things one way, but when you look over here, it can look completely different. That's what I mean by absolutely getting the most out of life. You still can be fulfilled, but I think it takes another person, a person that's created for you, a person that you can really get that true bond with and really can show you what life is all about. I think it's a lot more difficult to get those lessons and reach those levels on your own. You can still reach heights, but to reach the highest of heights, I think you need that person. And I was thinking about it in terms like this, and I heard another individual speak on this. When in the corporate world, to get to certain levels, they really prefer people to be married. And when I looked at the presidents of this nation, they're all married. So I think it's like an unspoken value in marriage, and that we see that people who are married, their level of, knowledge or whatever it is just a little bit higher than and I'm not trying to make individuals who are not married feel bad, because I respect your decision if you don't want to get married. But in my personal opinion, I think that when you do get married, you unlock a certain door of knowledge that you may not have been able to achieve if you have stayed single.
I get the point of where you're talking about you learn more about yourself that you didn't know because you're with someone a lot of the time, and they're able to kind of see things in you that you may not see, and they can bring those out. But some key elements to finding out more about yourself is having relationships with another person. Mm-hmm. And so not even an intimate relationship, and maybe it's because I'm a female. I may feel this way because I'm a female, because I feel like a best friend, like if you have like a best girlfriend, she will read you and be like, that's not going to work. You thought about it in the wrong way. You need to check yourself. And you're like, oh man, okay. And maybe it's because I'm a female, but I genuinely feel like you can find out things about yourself in your single state, or if you remain single, from other people. I do think I think marriage is a beautiful thing, of course, but I think that there is value and there is a level of strength in remaining single. You know, that takes on a lot, because you're doing this all on your own, and you have to depend on yourself. You may have family, you might have friends, but you are holding down the fort on your own. So honestly, I think there's something kind of within you to be able to be single, if you know, for your life, if that happens.
No, I agree. I mean, and I know a lot of single people who are awesome, amazing, very strong, and are doing amazing things and have done amazing things. I don't want to make it sound like if you're not married, you're less than. I'm more so saying that marriage will just kind of elevate you even further and unlock certain things, and you, as far as like your wisdom, understanding, and
I do marriage. Oh, how can that be articulated? Marriage will push your boundaries of where you think, oh, this is where I'm going to stay. If this is where I am. No, marriage will push you. Yeah, it really will. Now, I do feel like it unlocks different things. Yeah. I see that point. I do see that aspect, Joe.
I think a certain growth, certain areas of growth within you cannot achieve without having a partner by your side. Like, there's certain things in my life, and I'm only speaking for myself, but I think this does apply to everyone. There's certain things about me I would not have discovered if I would not have been married to you. And I think any married person or person who has been married before will tell you that whether the marriage worked out or not, or whether the marriage is still going or whether the marriage didn't work out, there's still things about themselves that they learn. And I'm sure that they appreciated the fact that they went through that experience, because if they had not gone through that experience,
they wouldn't have learned that about
they wouldn't have learned, and they had that level of growth occur in their lives. And I think you can only get that growth if you are or have been married.
That type of growth, if you're married. Well, I'm putting my listen. You talking, and I'm trying to put myself on yours. But I agree with you in the aspect of that type of growth if you're married. That's my viewpoint.
Learning about yourself and ultimately becoming, because at the end of the day, you're here to become the absolute best version of yourself. That's why we're all here. And you can still live a full life, but I think that you are leaving a certain percentage on the table by choosing to remain single, as opposed to the person who decided to get married. So I think that,
because at some point in a marriage, you have to be selfless. Yeah, you can't think of yourself at all, and you just kind of have to be like, you know, if your significant, if your partner is like not doing well, like if their health is down, like that's going to cause a different type of growth to occur. Yes. Or if, you know, they lose their job, or if they're going through some type of mental like growth, like, you know, just I see what you're saying, Joe. I got you.
Okay. Now let's talk about social media. I know I wanted to start off there, but
that's your faves.
I believe that social media has impacted marriage tremendously. Unfortunately, it's made more of a negative impact than a positive impact. Let's just talk about, you can go first. How has social media impacted marriage from your point of view?
I kind of have a layered answer, so bring me back if I start to go off. Okay. So I feel like social media has impacted marriage in a way where people have these expectations when they look on social media, if they like, this is something real simple, like if they're pranking their husband, or if they are doing certain types of like little dance challenges, or you've spoken on it many times, like giving a shout out for their anniversary or for their birthday, like it has to look a certain way. And if I was not celebrated, or if we did not do it a certain way, then our marriage is less than. Also, I feel like social media has made you feel like if my marriage doesn't look like the next person's marriage, then there's something wrong with how our marriage is going. Also, I feel like social media has rushed some people to get married, if I'm telling you the honest truth, because social media, you see people, okay, I'm graduating, I'm getting married, I'm having a baby, I'm getting promotions, like, and so you're constantly seeing that over and over in your feed, and so you're thinking, okay, I gotta hurry up and get married. Like, where's my Boaz? Like, when is it going to happen for me? Well, just enjoy the state that you're in right then and there, because marriage is really work. And I also think, to go along with that, social media has caused people to think that marriage isn't work. And it's not negative work. Let's be very clear. It's not something that is negative. It just takes effort. You have to put thought into this. You have to be intentional about marriage. And I think that social media has kind of created this way of you thinking marriage is not intentional. And it very much so is. Or marriage is about a trip. Or marriage is about a new car. Or marriage is about purchasing a house. And that's not it. Like, I need somebody to go half with me. No, you need someone that's going to be there to support you mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. That's what you need. Not the tangible things that you see on social media.
No, I completely agree.
Sorry.
And you touched on it, just the dangers of comparing your relationship with others. That's what social media brings into the marriage. You will see other married couples, and you can be extremely mature emotionally and be extremely self-aware, but at the end of the day, we're human. So no matter how responsible you are with your thoughts and not getting caught up in what you're seeing, for a moment or two, it's going to affect you. I'll look on social media and I'm like, dang, like this person, they're going on this trip, or they're doing this, and they're having another child, Kyle. They're having another child. And for a moment, it makes you think, I know cinnamon is just going crazy on my leg. It makes you think, well, golly, what's going on with us? Like, why aren't we on that trip? Why aren't we having another child? You briefly think about that for a second. I don't care how emotionally intelligent you are, but you cannot get caught up into that. And I think that couples need to be, once again, this is just my opinion. I always like to say that because I know sometimes my words may offend people.
You can be very abrasive sometimes. They can be very strong. You're very black and white.
I think couples need to be a little bit more responsible with what they share on social media, because you are shaping other people's reality of things, and unfortunately you're giving them this false narrative of what marriage or what anything is, because social media is, and I think Curvin coined this, I hope I'm giving credit to the right person, but it's literally just a selected highlight reel of people's accomplishments and their happy moments, and it's not reality of what's going on.
Or on the other side of that, it could be some of their negative moments, and so they're just putting all that information on social media about their spouse. True. Putting all that information on there, and then those of us that may read it, someone that's married, you're like, oh my gosh, like you get caught up in what's going on in their drama. Someone that's single is like, oh my gosh, this is not what I want marriage to be. So I do think it's important to censor it on both ends, Joe, with the positive and like the negative. Like
no, that's a
keep your business your business.
Yeah, that's a good point. That never crossed my mind, but you see the absolute antithesis of that. You see it's just two extremes. It's extremely happy and look at us, look how well we're doing, look at our beautiful family.
They put rose petals on the floor as I walked in from work.
Yes. Or it's just you're oversharing, like you're in the midst of getting a divorce and you're just trashing and bashing your spouse, which is not good as well. Mm-hmm. So I think just being responsible. And I know you're probably thinking like, okay, what does that look like, Joseph? I don't know. No, cinnamon. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if it looks like just when you share a photo, it's just a regular photo of you and the family just chilling. You aren't made up yet. You still got on your bed clothes.
But no, Nick, because you're not going to be out there like, number one, you're not going to... Okay.
No.
Sidetrack. But you're not going to be out there in your bed clothes.
I mean, you know what I'm saying. You just in your regular...
Nobody putting no picture out there with their bed clothes on.
Okay, that's a bad example. Don't be like you know, when we're watching a sitcom and they're at home on a Saturday fully dressed.
You're fully dressed.
With like you're going out clothes on. It's like, that's not real life. Like, you go over someone's house like after work or on the weekend, they're gonna have on lounge clothes, like kind of similar to what I'm wearing. Not even like what I'm wearing, like, because I don't wear a hoodie around the house, but just, I don't know, just be a little bit more realistic.
But why? Why do I... You know what? I'm on one tonight, y'all. I am on one. But why? Why do I have to be just regular, though? Why I got to put on something regular and take a picture for your Instagram feed? Why can't I judge myself up and get on there with my family and be porcelain dolls? Hey, I'm just on one. I'm just asking.
I'm gonna be on one too. I'm gonna be real, the real deal, Joseph. I'm always real and authentic, but why do you feel the need to even share it? I think
agree.
that's the first question, because are you sharing it? And I know I'm hard on social media.
Yes, you are.
And I share things too, mainly about the podcast, but are you genuinely sharing this because you're proud and happy of this moment? Or are you sharing it for likes? If social media, if Instagram or if Facebook took away that like button and that view button, would you share that information? Mm-hmm. And I think 99% of the time, it would not be shared. I'm going to be 100% honest. So you're putting out this image of your marriage because you want people to think, whether it's true or not, look at me and my spouse and look how well we're doing.
You look flawless. Flawless. I'm just giving you a hard time, but I do see the total point in what you're saying.
What about boundaries in social media? Sharing, should your spouse, because this may keep someone from wanting to get married, is whether they have to share their social media information, because some people may have been really active out there and have had a lot of friends and like a lot of pictures, and they decided to settle down. And this is a real thing for a lot of couples. Where do those boundaries go?
Okay. Now, I'm not going to answer your question because it's something on my heart and I got to say it. Okay? So this is not going to answer your question, but take me back to it. A boundary with social media. Like, I know somebody that's married right now, and they be liking like girls' pictures. It's a male, and they be out there liking girls' pictures.
That's what I'm talking about.
That is not okay. That is not okay. Like, certain things, I don't follow certain things on social media. Mm-hmm. Not that it's even like a downfall, but I don't like follow a whole bunch of men on social media. Like, some of the men I follow is because like you follow them. Yeah. But other than that, no. I think it's totally, if you want to know the honest truth, now I'm going to get on my little soapbox. I think it's totally disrespectful for you to get on the opposite genders, if you're married, the opposite genders feed and like these thirst trap pictures from males or females. So if I'm getting on there, a dude with their shirt off and I like that picture, I'm dead wrong. Dead wrong. Dead wrong. If you get on social media and you out there liking somebody with their little Instagram leggings on, you're dead wrong. I don't care if it's a celebrity. Okay, yeah. Let's be very clear. I don't care if it's a celebrity and I know you won't ever meet this person in your life, or it's somebody you went to high school with, it is a no. It's a no.
Yeah.
I think that is so disrespectful. So I do. I think it's so disrespectful.
No, several things. I think you have to set those boundaries. You have to make it known from day one at the start of the relationship what's acceptable, what's not acceptable for you. I know a lot of guys, and listen, I hate to put you on blast.
They already on blast because you can see what people be liking. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
A lot of guys, I know y'all would fail the Instagram search button challenge. I know y'all would.
Oh.
Y'all would. Like, ladies, you pick up your husband's or your boyfriend's Instagram and hit that search button, I guarantee you they'll be sweating. But I had this conversation because I was planning the podcast today, and I have Jackie. She's a licensed marriage and family therapist, so I was just bouncing some information off of her, kind of trying to get her to be on here as a guest, but I didn't want to bombard her too much. And that she actually brought that up.
Okay. Ooh, what did Jackie say?
And she said pretty much like you. She said for her, she's gonna speak for herself. She's not okay with if you liking a random female's photo, like if her boyfriend liked a random female's photo, just for her, she's not okay with that. And I told her, I was like, my wife feels the same way, and even though she knows like that's really not my personality, so just if like I just happen to like mistakenly just like one, I know she wouldn't say anything to me because she knows that's not my personality, and she knows it wouldn't go down that rabbit hole of liking, following, then you're stalking somebody's page. However, I know my wife's boundaries, so I know that she's not okay with that. And another example I use is like I know my wife's boundaries, so I know that she really don't like me thinking anybody is attractive.
But I know that you do.
But it's like a certain like level we go to. So we often do this game to where we talk about celebrities and like who are the attractive celebrities that females females like. So who are the attractive male celebrities that females like? And I was telling Jackie, it's funny, like we always play this game, but we only do it with male celebrities, and I'm okay with that. We don't do it with female celebrities because I know that that's my wife's boundary. Like, we're not gonna sit up here and talk about how attractive other female celebrities are. So that's a boundary that you have went ahead and you've drawn on the line from day one. So you have to establish those boundaries, and you have to ask yourself, am I okay with this?
But because I don't want people to think like we're just having a double standard, I don't say, oh, he looked good.
Yeah, no,
he
you don't.
fine.
Yeah.
Like that I don't cross that boundary.
Yeah.
Like, so although we play the game like, oh, it's The Rock, what you think about The Rock or Idris or something like that, I don't cross the line. And we both of us know that other people are attractive in our eyes. But I just think that, just to kind of, out of respect.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they're probably gonna think I'm lying. They're gonna think I'm lying.
No, you're not.
But I don't even. That's not even my personality. Like, he look good.
Yeah,
like,
it's not.
That's not even my personality. Like, I don't even care. Nobody checking for you. Like, walk by, do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I really do. Like, that's my husband. That's another thing. Like, hey, but anybody else miss me with it. Like, and tell them miss me with it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So there's some couples that have joint Facebook accounts, and
which is suspect. But anyway,
I mean, do you feel like that's something? Do you feel like you may not have to have a joint Facebook account?
You don't need that.
But do you need to be able to have access to your spouse's social media account when you want to? So if I were to ask you, Danessa, let me see your Instagram, should that be a conflict? Because that is a conflict.
It shouldn't be a conflict
for a lot of people.
It shouldn't be a conflict. You can get in my phone, and it's no thing. It's no thing. Like, the only thing I might start palpitating is when you go to that Amazon cart. Like, oh Lord. But other than that, I do not care. Like, you could look through my messages and things, and I honestly, that's just where we are in our marriage. Like, nobody has time for foolishness. So if you pick up my phone and find foolishness in it, that is a problem.
Yeah.
And I'm not caping, like, for real. Like, right now on this podcast, in front of this video, pick up my phone and go through it. I could do the same. Joe, give me your phone.
Yeah.
And that's, hey, Couch Cousins, that took some growth.
It did.
That took some growth, Couch Cousins. We on the other side of it now. But I'd say you catch us about 3 years ago.
It was longer than that. Jackson's 5 now.
You see how fast he answered? See, 3 years? No, okay, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But, 4 or 5 years ago, you're right. It's a different story.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's, like I said, to go back to what I said to originally start this off.
Yeah.
It takes marriage to help you grow and grow out of certain things. I don't think that, I know that if I weren't married to you and we had that situation, that I would be able to grow and get to the place I am now, to where I take pride, because a child can pick up my phone, anybody can pick up my phone and not having to worry about, oh man, I don't want Jackson to get in my phone and pull up something he has no business seeing.
Yeah.
Like, that's the part of marriage that helps you grow. And I think that, because I know this is something like a lot of younger couples, a lot of younger people struggle with, because social media is even more prevalent in their lives than it is in our lives, to where that is a big conflict of, like, your Instagram and your Facebook, having access to those things. Should girls follow other guys? Like, these are real things that are coming up today that are preventing people from even considering being in a serious relationship or a marriage.
But I'm gonna ask you this question. I do find it, like, don't you find it weird if it's a married man and he out here following, like, Kelly Rowland and Beyonce, and that's weird to me.
Those are bad examples, because they may legit be like, have been Destiny Child's fans growing up.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm sorry, but okay. But like Ashanti, I just
like,
think I'm gonna
like
be
Kim
honest.
Kardashian or somebody like that.
I think it's kind of weird.
If you're not a fan, yes, it would be very weird if I started following, like, a Kim Kardashian. I know we're dating ourselves. I don't know who the what's the one that's
Doja Cat.
Not Doja. What's the one that
Cardi B.
The one who had the basketball player Brittany Renner, the one that Deion. It would be very weird if I was just started following, like, a Brittany Renner type person.
That's weird
on social media.
That's weird.
That would be, I don't want to say that would be very suspicious.
Weird.
So you need to be mindful of those things. But wrapping up on social media, I think a lot of it has to do with something the younger people call FOMO, fear of missing out. And that's another thing that's probably questioning people: is marriage for me? Because they are in such fear that they may be missing out.
Listen, I don't know. I gotta work on cutting you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, baby. Keep going.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know what's out there. And if you're still single, look, it's cool. But there is nothing I have a fear of missing out of at this point in my life. And we were young when we got married. Well, hey, we almost been married 10 years at this point.
Yeah.
I'm not missing out on anything but a headache. And crazy people. No. And so I think that I don't know what it's like to be a 20-something-year-old in this time, but you should.
Heck, even 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds.
You're right, Joe. Mm-hmm. You just need to try to make the best decision for yourself. Don't even base it upon what we're saying, and how our experience has been in marriage. Like, what do you feel like is going to be the best for you? Mm-hmm. That's really how you should base your decision.
Yeah.
I know I kind of went a different way.
No, but the FOMO thing, and as a married couple and we deemed ourselves to be experts of this kind
Joe
of
did. Joe did that. He did.
But that is a real thing, and I don't think that FOMO is only generated from thirst trap pictures that are on social media, or your single people who are always going out and living their best lives. I think the fear of FOMO also comes from the fact that they probably look at some of their married friends and they don't look happy. Mm-hmm. And they look tired. They don't look like they have any life within them. So that's another thing that married couples, we have to make. I know it's not our responsibility, but we feel like marriage is a good thing. We have to make it look like it's something that's beneficial.
Well, that's why you gotta get on there with them pictures on Instagram then. You get them pictures right for the gram then, baby.
I know it's a catch-22, but you really do, and a lot goes into that. Be positive about marriage. Put work in. Stay looking lively and good. Mm-hmm. Look like you got some life to you. Don't always go out the house looking bad. Try to look good for your spouse. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of things that you can kind of do.
And I remember like when we were dating and when we were younger, there were like couples. Some of them were older than us. Some of them were not. And remember how they would kind of just like be around us and like they hang out with us. And I thought, this is so weird. Like we have nothing to offer them. But I do think it's important for married couples, no matter where you are, to still be around like couples that are dating, or just to be around like single people that you've known for a long time. I'm not saying bring single people into your marriage. Nope. That's not what I'm saying. But like, some of your single friends that you still have them over, still interact with them so that they can see that there is greatness to being married. Mm-hmm. There are here it goes. There are benefits to being married.
Yes.
That's it. There are benefits to being married.
Yes, a lot of good benefits to being married. And if you are married, put a positive image out there. I don't have a FOMO or fear of missing out on anything because I love my wife. She's sweet, she's kind, she's smart, and she's beautiful. Like even when she's stepping out on a Saturday, boy, it's some Saturdays I don't want her to get out the house. Yeah. She looking so good.
I have on leggings and a t-shirt, and I'm going to Walmart. Or the Publix.
But you still look...
Or Ingles to get some groceries.
And I'm being 100% honest. And I know this may be hard, but I'm going to say the things that a lot of men probably don't want to say. We want our women to look good. I appreciate the fact that you want to look good for me. And I don't think I'm speaking for you. You still want to look good for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still... Listen, it is what it is.
I like if you tell me, you look pretty, or I like what you're wearing today. Like, that makes me feel nice.
Yes. Yeah. And it makes me feel appreciated that you still want to look good for me.
Yeah. I'm going to be 8 around here still kicking it, man.
Yes. So that's important. So who does it fall on, baby? Because right now we kind of have this unspoken, I don't even know if it's unspoken anymore, this gender war between men and women. So who's to blame for the backlash against relationships and marriages? Because the divorce rate is funny. The divorce rate is declining, but it's declining because people aren't getting married. So don't get fooled by that when you see that the divorce rates are declining. The only reason that they're declining is because younger generations or people are just decided not to get married. So they're not adding to the divorce rate. But the men, they have something called the red pill movement. You've probably never heard of. I'm not talking about red pill, the guy I follow.
I'm thinking about him.
The red pill movement and the MGTOW movement is very popular with men, young men. And of course, you have this new feminist movement with the women. And so both are just pretty much pointing their fingers at each other and saying that you're the reason why I don't want to get married. Who does it fall on? Or are they just deflecting personal blame?
Deflection. Deflection, personal blame. That's what it is, Joe. Because I think we all have a part in it. It's not on one gender. It's on both.
Yeah. You can't apply, and what a lot of, I'll speak for men, and what I'm seeing from a lot of young men out there who are struggling to get into, they want to be in relationships, but they're struggling to get into relationships because they're saying that the women have these unrealistic expectations. They don't want to be involved with someone who doesn't make six figures, is not a certain height, doesn't drive a certain car, isn't in a certain career. And so that's what they're saying, that all women have this belief system, but in reality, they're probably just going for the wrong type of women. Mm-hmm. And you're going for very shallow women, or you're going for women who maybe are out of your realm or league, to where you have this image of yourself to where you think that a woman that looks like this is going to
a plastic,
bring you some type of joy or give you some type of status, and you're really missing out on something that's going to make you even better and really give you even more joy. And I think for women, you're putting so much emphasis on what a man can give to you and bring to you, but you may be missing out on finding that one guy who you can bring to that level or bring to that status to where you want to be. I'll use us for an example. Even though you never said it and you never had those like set of criteria, or he has to be, well, you had some things I had to check off on the box.
I got some standards now. I do have standards. Yeah. They're called standards.
Yes, but you never outright said, if he doesn't do this or that, I don't want anything to do with him. However, those things that a lot of women want, you have in a spouse, but the reason that you have it is because you help elevate me to that level.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand why these younger women don't want to put the work in. That's why they are saying that you got to come to the relationship with all this.
I think it's just a different type of woman. I feel like, we call it Instagram. I think things are just so instant these days with women. Wow. And the work ethic is just not there, because this is the thing. You may want someone that has certain boxes that they check off, but it is very important as a young woman to have boxes that you have checked off for yourself. It is important for you to have your head on straight, because honestly, Joe, I feel like that's the only way you can build something. Yeah. If you bring the sticks, the nails, and the hammer, and then I bring the strong arms and the hard work ethic and the fast pace, we bring that together, that's going to be able to build a house. But if you're the only person that has something, how are we going to build anything? Yeah. So you both need to bring something to the table. You both need to be working hard at something to be able to make a difference. If not, it's not okay to have a standards for a male, or males have standards for a female, and then you just like busting and disgusted. It's not going to work.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And I want to leave this episode with something that I discovered today. I was listening to a podcast, and it was very profound what the lady was talking about. She was talking about marriages and relationships, and she brought up something that I never heard of, and it's called the paradox of choice.
Okay.
And she believes, and I also believe after listening to her, that this paradox of choice is one of the things that is causing this decline in marriage, or causing people to not desire or look at long-term serious relationships and marriages in a negative way. And basically the paradox of choice, and I'm going to read it. The paradox of choice stipulates that while we might believe that being presented with multiple options actually makes it easier to choose one that we are happy with, and thus increases consumer satisfaction, having an abundance of options actually requires more effort to make a decision and can leave us feeling unsatisfied with our choice. I thought that was so profound because we live in a day where we are so connected to so many people with these dating apps and social media, to where we have so many quote unquote options that when we finally pick one, because there are so many options out there, it causes us to feel unsatisfied with the choice. And it kind of goes back to that fear of missing out, because man, am I sure? Because I have so many options.
Yeah, I was swiping this one.
I was swiping this one, this one, this one.
Matches,
yeah. Did I pick the right one? So instead of really putting in the work with the one that you quote unquote picked, or focusing on the positives of that person in that relationship, you're so focused on everything else that's going out there. And I thought that was so interesting about that paradox of choice, because I do think a lot of people are struggling with that, because there's so many quote unquote options out there, and there's so many
for men.
I think for men,
not for women, from what I hear. But go ahead. I gotta stop cutting you off. Okay, go ahead.
Because there's so many perceived options out there, and there's so many unrealistic expectations and standards that are out there, that people who may get into a relationship, they're not going to give it an honest effort, because they're going to always be looking over their shoulder. And I think that right there is what's probably preventing people from taking a chance on marriage.
And it's not, y'all, and it's not even taking a chance. It is building an empire. It's not, it's, I don't know. I think it's got to go in there with the type of mindset like, nope, I'm in this to win this, and we're going to build something. So
yeah. So
I still like that. The paradox of change. I like that, sweetheart.
Paradox of choice.
Oh, choice. Choice.
Yeah. So my stance on it is, I think marriage is for everyone. I think you have to define what type of marriage that you want, and you have to put your boundaries and expectations on Front Street. Be clear with your significant other, and communicate that effectively. But I honestly believe that being married or experiencing marriage will really elevate you to levels that you would not believe that you could elevate to. That's just my personal belief when it comes to marriage.
I don't believe that marriage is for everyone, but I do feel if you put the work in and you want to really make it work, and you see yourself having a future with that person, then you can do it. But if you choose to say, you know what, I think I need to be in a single state, and this is what I'm going to do with my life, I feel that you can prosper either way.
Facts. Either way, we are prospering, we are happy, and we are doing it. Thank you all so much for experiencing this journey with us. We appreciate you all so much. Until next time, you've experienced another classic, great episode of the Jonessa Podcast.
Conversations from the Couch.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.